You do not have to trust her to love her. That is a myth. Female haters want to fuck me.
Repeat after me. Flush your condoms.
And male haters want to beat me. It's that simple.
Wait a minute. You actually thought you were the only guy she was fucking?
But she told me she loved me.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 558th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are brought to you by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit-forming energy and focus supplement on the market. Be hyper-productive and laser-focused for hours with zero crash and zero jitters. Support your productivity and the show. To get your hands on a bottle or two, go to donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. Again, that is donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. We are streaming live to YouTube, Twitch, VK, and OK.ru, and Twitter. Things are back on track with Twitter. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. It is Thursday, February 20th, 2020. Looks like I forgot to update that in the scroll. At any rate, it is good to have you guys in today. Make sure you guys get your hands on my mini courses. I've actually broken up my courses into mini courses. How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up can now be purchased in 5 different modules, and the same goes for How to Master the Game. So, for example, if you vetted a woman and you need to know how to dominate her in bed, you can buy Chapter 4 separately without having to get the entire course. Here's another example. If you've mastered the basics of game and you understand how to sleep with sixes and sevens regularly, and you want to take it to the next level and start banging 9s and 10s, you can get Chapter 5 by itself without having to sift through the material that you've already mastered. So you guys can save time and money by purchasing my mini courses. Just go to donovansharpe.com/courses to perfect your craft in the Venusian arts. Okay, let's get right to it. Conventional wisdom states that if you are at a job you hate and you want to quit, you don't like your job anymore, is to make sure that you have another job lined up before you give your notice. Now, theoretically, this makes perfect sense. If you're getting a steady paycheck from a job that you don't like, it would behoove you to make sure that there are no gaps in your finances if and when you decide to leave your job. Obviously, when you leave your job, the checks stop coming. And if the checks stop coming and you don't already have another job, you could fall on hard times rather quickly and things will spiral out of control financially. But the flaw with this strategy isn't really the strategy itself. Yes, it is really stupid to quit a job if you don't already have another paycheck lined up. But what this strategy speaks to is the lack of financial responsibility by most people. Most people in this country live from check to check, meaning that if they were to miss even one payday, it would significantly set them back financially. Maybe a car payment gets missed, the electric bill doesn't get paid on time, the mortgage gets paid late, etc., etc. And with late payments, obviously come late payment penalties, which ends up costing more in the long run, and it all snowballs from there. We've all been there before. Missing one paycheck is something few people in America could recover from in a reasonable amount of time, and even if they do, the damage is often irreparable. For this reason, a shitload of people are working jobs they hate for a lot longer than they want to simply because they can't afford to quit. And if they're working 40 plus hours a week, there's very little time in that week to even look for a job, much less interview effectively enough to come across as a solid, as maybe a solid hire or a solid candidate for a possible hire. So what's the solution to avoiding a catastrophe if you want to quit your job? Well, that's easy. Save money and spend smart. Financial discipline is the key to avoiding disaster if you were to quit or lose your job. Now, financial experts say that the floor in terms of savings is 3 months worth of expenses. In other words, you should always have at least 3 months worth of expenses saved up in case of a catastrophe. Now, I'm not a financial expert, but I would say it's probably better to have 5 to 6 months worth of expenses plus 25% to cover any ancillary expenses that come with job hunting, like, I don't know, maybe a new suit, upgrading your resume, and so on and so forth. Now that I think of it, when Devin left the company that she was with a while back, she spent a little extra money to really, really make her resume pop. She had it printed on really, really nice paper, had it tucked in a really nice folder, had all sorts of information on the outside. It didn't take long for a great company to find and hire her. Now, her current job, she says this is the best employer she's ever had. And I am thoroughly convinced that her resume, along with her extensive experience in internet marketing, has played a huge role in drastically shortening her job search. So now you guys are probably thinking, okay, Donovan, what the hell does saving money and fancy resumes have to do with dating? Allow me to explain. A few episodes ago, I talked about the common motto that women follow when a breakup happens. That motto is, to get over him, you have to get under him. Now what this means is that in order to get over a guy who's just dumped you, sleep with as many guys as possible to reduce your emotional attachment to your ex-boyfriend. But we all know that men rarely end relationships these days. I don't have statistics on this, but I'd probably put the number at around 10%, which means that 9 out of 10 relationships are ended by women, either directly or indirectly. The thing is, women are extremely cowardly and non-confrontational. There are precious few relationships where the woman actually just tells the guy straight up, we need to break up. No, they don't do that. They usually say things like, we need to take a break. I think we should start seeing other people. I need space. But even if they do just tell a guy, we need to break up, they've been fucking somebody else for 3 months. We call this monkey branching in the manosphere or branch swinging. And that brings us right back around to not leaving a job until you have another one lined up. Same principle applies to both situations. If you are unhappy in one situation, make sure you have something else or someone else lined up before you give your notice or break up with your boyfriend. Now, obviously, relationships and jobs are two very different situations. You can't treat a job exactly like a relationship, and you can't treat a relationship exactly like a job. But since we know that most women cheat their way out of relationships, it doesn't do us any good to tell them to stop branch swinging. They're not going to do this. All a man can do in this day and age is to put things in place to reduce the odds of being cheated on or monkey branched from. And even then, there are no guarantees. So now the question is, why do women branch swing? Why don't they just end a relationship if they're unhappy? Why do they routinely cheat on their boyfriends when they can just tell them, hey, look, I want out? Well, the answer to this question is the same reason most people make sure they have another job lined up before leaving their current employer. And that is that they simply don't have the money saved up to give them the luxury to leave a job whenever they want without suffering a significant financial loss. Gentlemen, women today know they're not worth much outside of the 8.5 minutes of sex they can provide men. They know that despite having a man's commitment, she didn't really do much of anything to earn that commitment. All she did was let him fuck her for a few months and was not a bitch, and he was ready to commit because he thinks she's a keeper. But as soon as women get a commitment from a man, they are no longer motivated to improve themselves as women and increase their value outside of their 3 holes. A few months go by, and the same cycle starts to repeat itself. She starts to question if she made the right decision. She gets bored because her boyfriend doesn't tell her no. She doesn't respect him because he doesn't require anything of her. She starts fucking somebody else for a few months more. And when she knows the guy she's fucking on the side is ready to commit, she then tells her boyfriend, I need to find myself. Rinse and repeat. But the reason women never leave a relationship until they found a new one first is because they know it would be a while before they found another man because they know they're not high quality women. Because if they were quality women, they would have no issue being alone for a while because they know that high value men would quickly make themselves available to her. They know that they wouldn't have any trouble finding another high quality man. This is why most women in relationships are just like that employee working at a job he hates who has $56 in his bank account before the day before payday. That guy can't quit his job because he'd be broke. Women can't leave relationships because they are also broke, as in they don't have any attractive traits that would attract attractive men. Things like knowing how to cook and the willingness to do so. Having a kind disposition, a submissive temperament, a sexy body, and the desire to maintain it. All of these things raise a woman's sexual market value. It gives her valuable currency within the sexual marketplace. An employee with money saved and marketable skill, that guy isn't afraid of leaving a job that no longer suits him. He's got 6 months of expenses saved up, he's got years of experience and valuable certifications. So he can afford to leave his terrible job, take his time choosing the right company, and not miss a beat financially. An employee without these things does not have this luxury, guys. If he leaves his job without any savings or skills, he'll end up taking the first job that comes his way so he doesn't miss a paycheck. Not having the time or the money to be more selective ends up costing him in the long run, because eventually he'll want to leave that company and then the cycle repeats itself. A quality woman with attractive characteristics isn't afraid of leaving a man who no longer suits her. She can and is willing to cook for her man. She is kind. She is submissive. She is in good shape and does what is necessary to stay this way. And she is good company, so she can afford to leave her out-of-shape, non-driven boyfriend and take her time choosing the right man and not miss a beat emotionally. Now, a woman without these characteristics does not have this luxury. If she leaves her boyfriend without having another one lined up, she'll end up getting with the first guy who shows her attention so she doesn't end up lonely. Not having the attractive qualities that attractive men like doesn't allow her to take her time and be selective, which ends up costing her in the long run, because eventually she'll have to leave that guy and that cycle repeats itself. And this is why, gentlemen, the vast majority of women cheat their way out of relationships. They know they simply are not good enough to be single. Women never get wet, guys. There is always another raft to jump through. Which brings me to today's Reddit post entitled "Mentally Break Up Before the Real Breakup." It was posted on Reddit, posted on a Reddit forum called Female Dating Strategy, and I wasn't aware of this particular Reddit page until Brandon C. sent it to me. So big thanks goes out to Brandon C. for putting me onto this goldmine of red pill truth. Anyway, I'm going to scroll back to the Female Dating Strategy has all sorts of memes and everything like that. It's basically like the red pill for women, right? So if you guys are looking at your screen, for those of you guys listening on the replay, one meme is women who love wine. Quote, "My ex-boyfriend didn't like that I had a glass of wine with dinner every night. He thought I was high maintenance and dramatic. My husband refills my wine glass and doesn't get angry that I'm always late and tells me I'm beautiful every day. He's out there, ladies. Wait for him." Yet this is funny. What these women are looking for are pushovers. Her ex-boyfriend didn't like her having a glass of wine every night because she got out of pocket when she got drunk. He knows that drinking every night is not healthy for her. And of course, if she is unhealthy, she is going to be high maintenance. And oh, by the way, women who are winos or lushes are always fucking drama queens. So yeah, that's how it was. But now she's found a man that doesn't get angry when she's always late, meaning he doesn't hold her to any standard. He doesn't hold her accountable. He tells her he tells her she's beautiful every single day. But are you really beautiful? You see, like I said, when women get validation for literally nothing but having 2 X chromosomes, they get lazy. A man who tells a woman she's beautiful every day is a man who's going to have a fat and unattractive wife because she will be unmotivated. She will be unmotivated to improve herself. He's out there, ladies. Wait for him. Your beta male in waiting is out there. Wait for the guy who's going to tell you you're beautiful every day without having to hit the gym every day. Wait for the guy who lets you drink every night and get out of pocket. Wait for the guy that you can be a drama queen around who will not call you a drama queen. This next one was also on Female Dating Strategy. I'm gonna remove myself from the screen here. This one is by Okai Shouty. She says, quote, "I hate how dudes take forever to show their true colors. Scariest thing about them, I was in a relationship with someone who I thought was perfect, and then I was sexually assaulted at a party, and I immediately called him crying, and his takeaway from it was, 'So you cheated on me.'" So this girl ran up on a dude who saw through her, how can I put this? Saw through her transparent attempt at getting away with cheating. How many times have we heard this situation? "I was at a party and I was sexually assaulted." So you had sex with a guy without your consent. Yes, I couldn't consent because I was drunk. Sweetheart, just because you were drunk does not mean you could not consent. Her boyfriend, and again, he showed his true colors, which means he showed his red pill awareness, because number one, Devin would not be going to some party, and if she did, her ass would be the fuck up out of here. Number three, if she called me and said, "Hey Donovan, I went to a party and I was just sexually assaulted," I'd be like, "Well, baby girl, listen, I'll drive you to the police office and I'll be moving my stuff up out of there. You were on your own." Yes, She absolutely cheated on him. Guys, do not make the mistake of allowing women to fuck other guys behind your back and then call it rape or sexual assault. This is bullshit. Women who think that men are scary, who accuse them of cheating after fucking somebody at a party, these are not the kinds of women you want to be with. These are the kinds of memes and content and material that is on female dating strategy. Anyway, this particular post is about advising women to branch swing under the guise of, quote, mental preparation and preserving your sanity. The woman who posted this is called Necessary Cook, which actually makes zero sense because it looks like her status on Reddit page is ruthless strategist. To me, that's code for takes advantage of men. So let's take a look at what she has to say and break this bad boy down, shall we? It says, quote, "It's less jarring to the system that way." She is talking about mentally breaking up before you break up with your boyfriend. "Take a couple of weeks to get plans in place, begin to envision how you will spend your time without them, and condition yourself to emotionally depend on yourself and yourself alone." You know, it's funny that women talk all this shit about, I don't need a man. Men ain't shit. We don't need y'all. But then they talk about taking a couple of weeks to get their plans in place and envisioning how they'll spend their time without him and conditioning themselves to depend on themselves alone. This advice is a direct contradiction on what they squawk about on social media. I'm strong and independent. I don't need anybody. Well, apparently you do. More importantly, this goes to show that women always know they're going to dump you months in advance of actually doing it. That's it. That's it. If your woman dumps you, she had it in her mind 6 months ago, guys. Let's continue. "This is 10 times more important," she says, "in an abusive relationship or situation where you've lost yourself in a relationship. Take some time to take the baby steps to mentally prepare for the breakup before having the talk. It will help you in the long run. We are still animals and mammals, and our limbic and nervous systems are very much affected by traumatic sudden changes like breakups, moving, assault, neglect, and losing loved ones. Studies have shown that your hormone balance shifts after a breakup. Dying of heartbreak is a real thing. Ensure that you're taking steps before the real breakup lessens the trauma of a sudden break." Oh my goodness. Here we go. Let me just address this first. Here we go with the abusive relationship angle. Women know that truly abusive relationships are few and far between, and that most men are afraid to even raise their voices at women, much less put their hands on them. But Necessary Cook gives herself away when she adds, "or situation where you've lost yourself in a relationship." An abusive relationship, gentlemen, is not the same as a woman losing themselves in a relationship. A woman losing herself in a relationship is a woman who is with a strong man who imposes his will on and in her. His frame is dominant, and she has no choice but to submit or to leave. If she stays, she loses herself in the relationship, meaning she completely surrenders to him, which is not what women want, which is exactly, rather, what women want. Women want to surrender to men. But women talk about this like it's a bad thing. I don't surrender or submit to any man. Guys, this is where feminism has really led women astray. It has convinced them to hate what they truly want and desire. Let's go back to we're animals and mammals in our limbic nerve. Get the hell out of here. Baby girl, whatever her name is, Necessary Cook, don't talk, dude, don't talk. Don't use words. Don't use big words you're not used to, baby. You're going to choke on it. You're going to choke on yourself. This chick looked this up on some Reddit or on some Google search and tried to look smart. All of this to justify, well, studies show that traumatic, sudden breakups. Interesting. She talks about this all the time when it comes to women. What about when it happens to guys? Right? What about when it happens to guys? They don't think so. Basically, she just wants to beat us to the punch so that she can protect herself emotionally. You have to get him before you get got? The fuck out of here, man. Studies have shown that your hormone balance shifts after a breakup. Yeah, the hormone balance does shift after a breakup, as in your vagina gets wet because you're going to be sport fucking your way around town now that you don't have a boyfriend. Let's continue. The most important thing to do, she says, is to recondition yourself to getting used to going to your girlfriends, your families, or yourself for your own emotional support. because your significant other won't be that person anymore. Deliberately rebuild your support system before the breakup to make the transition easier. Secondly, she says, keep a perspective that life is unpredictable and that a breakup can happen at any time. If your expectations have been managed, you won't be in a hysterical state of utter shock and disbelief if a surprise breakup happens. Stay realistic and level-headed, and do take care when it comes to sudden changes in your life. There are two things wrong with this particular paragraph. Number one, if a woman already has good relationships with her friends and family in the first place, then there would be no need to rebuild anything. You can't rebuild a building that's already there. So the proper advice here would be to make sure that you have good, solid, healthy relationships with your family and friends, and that they share your beliefs about traditional masculinity and femininity as they apply to sexual relationships between men and women. Number two, women don't do this shit. They're not interested in doing anything that takes time or is difficult. Guys, I'm here to tell you, building solid relationships with friends and family, that takes work and it takes time. Yes, it can be difficult, but it is worth it. Because if they do get out of a relationship, they then have that emotional support. But when it comes time to leave their boyfriends, they want to do what's easy, which is fuck another guy for a few months to make sure she's not alone when she dumps her boyfriend. A general rule of thumb for men is to understand that women will always do what's easy. They will never do what's hard. Never, ever forget that. She ends this with saying, I'm already expecting comments like, no, you need to be honest and break up ASAP. Cut the cord immediately. So right off the bat, she's already acknowledging that her line of thinking is flawed. That's what she's thinking. And again, the reason why she's expecting comments like this is because there is a message. If you're reading between the lines here, the title of this podcast, we're going to talk about what she's really talking about. Because if this really was preparing yourself for a breakup, she wouldn't have to preempt things by saying, no, you need to be honest. I know I'm going to get these comments. Oh, no. She knows that she's not really talking about what she's really talking about. That's how that goes. If that works for you, she continues, great. But for those in vulnerable positions, especially, you do not have to break up immediately. You have to help yourself create an environment where you will have a safe space and a solid foundation in life when you get out. The damage done by traumatic and dramatic breakups is underreported. Got my cat in here messing with my gerbils. Let me read this part first. She says you have to help create an environment where you will have a safe space and a solid foundation in life when you get out. Translation. You need to have a backup man. You need to have a backup man on Ready 5. You need to have backup cock on Ready 5 to be there to catch you when you dump your boyfriend. All this Reddit post is, guys, is a fancy way of justifying cheating. That's all there is to it. None of this has anything to do with reconditioning themselves, or building relationships, or fortifying their support systems, or any other fancy nonsense that this necessary cook chick pointed out. This is quite literally a rationalization for having sex with other men outside of their relationships before they end another relationship under the guise of mental health and clarity. Women always find a way to justify their bad behavior. This is one of many reasons why the sexual marketplace is a complete shit show here in 2020. All right, guys. On the other side of the break, I'm going to open up the phone lines to get your thoughts on this particular Reddit post and to hear your stories about branch swinging. Maybe you heard it happen to somebody, maybe it happened to you, maybe you heard another story. I will also shout out the super chats and the questions and comments by my premium members in the chat. Stay where you are, guys. TSR Live is back in a flash. Guys, if you are looking for a supplement that gives you laser focus and a good, clean, controlled energy to get a lot done in a short period of time, Gorilla Mind Rush is the solution. I tried it for the very first time a few months back, and I've used it ever since. Just 3 tablets in the morning, and my mind and body work at peak operating efficiency. You guys know how crazy my schedule is, but with Gorilla Mind Rush, I'm able to prepare for my show, do my consultations, and then go lift weights for 2 hours. When I'm finished, I still have enough mental and physical energy left to continue kicking life's ass. Here's how it works, guys. 15 minutes after you take Gorilla Mind Rush, you start to notice a subtle change in your mindset. 15 minutes after that, you'll notice that you are much more focused, you are thinking more clearly, you'll be a little more energetic, and your motivation to be productive goes up. An hour in, you'll feel noticeably more focused and can concentrate even with distractions around. You'll feel less stressed and less anxious. After 90 minutes, you are in full gorilla mind rush mode. Your focus, concentration, and your memory will be far beyond your normal state, and you will stay this way for at least 6 hours. And get this, guys, there is no crash. That's right, you get all the benefits of your mind being hyper-focused for a long period of time without the cliff when it wears off. Using other productivity supplements like modafinil is kind of like putting 10 gallons of gas in your tank and driving 400 miles. Now this is great. That's 40 mpg, which is awesome gas mileage. Most people would take 40 miles a gallon any day of the week, myself included. But with Gorilla Mind Rush, I'm able to drive 750 miles on the same 10 gallons of gas. That's the best way I can describe it, guys. That's how efficiently your mind works on Gorilla Mind Rush. You get a lot done without burning through your mind's fuel so quickly that you run out of gas before your day is done. So rather than slowing down at mile 400 like you do with other compounds, you've still got plenty left in the tank to continue being productive with Gorilla Mind Rush. Another great thing about Gorilla Mind Rush is that it's non-habit forming. If you use it, you're Superman. If you don't, you're Clark Kent. There's no withdrawal if you do not take it. If you need this kind of focus, energy, and productivity while also supporting the show, go to donovansharpe.com/gorilla mind rush. I put the link in the chat, and you can also find it in the description. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for sticking around. Guys, be sure to get your hands on my free ebook, 16 Ways to Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. All you have to do is subscribe to my email list, and the book is yours. Go to donovansharpe.com/newsletter. Again, that is donovansharpe.com/newsletter. I am putting that link in the chat. It is also in the description. If you're not the relationship type and you want to learn how to bang hot girls and build a rotation of them, How to Master the Game is what you need. How to Master the Game has over 25 hours of rock-solid game knowledge based on my own personal experience with women during the 8+ years I spent in Vegas, which is a very difficult dating market to master. How to Master the Game is available in both audio and video formats. The link is in the description, and I am also putting the link in the chat now. I'm going to get to the phone lines here in just a second. If you want to get in the queue, 914-205-5356 is the number to call. Let me shout out my super chats here. Then we'll get to my chats and we'll get to the phone lines. Luis Orozco, I assume that's how you say that name. He says, "Hey, Donovan," with the $50 super chat. Holy shit. Luis Orozco with the big $50 super chat says, "Hey, Donovan, I've been listening to you for a while and really enjoying the content, but I've been listening to Coach Greg Adams and also enjoying his content. But I'm having trouble defining the red pill and MGTOW. Is there a way they intertwine?" Yeah. Actually, Luis, and this is interesting because I have been on Coach Greg Adams' show before. Luis, MGTOW and the red pill are literally the same thing. There is no difference. There are a lot of men who call themselves MGTOWs, but they're not really MGTOWs. These guys are what I call scabs, scared, crying, angry babies. Coach Greg Adams is a true MGTOW. I guess you could call me a MGTOW. We are both on the same side. And the analogy that a caller made, this was the perfect analogy. The difference between myself and Coach Greg Adams, and I don't know if you follow American football, Luis, but the difference between myself and Coach Greg Adams, we play on the same team, right? But I'm the offensive coordinator. Coach Greg Adams is the defensive coordinator. That's the best way I can describe the difference between me and him. There is no difference between MGTOW and the red pill. They are two sides of the same coin. Listen, the red pill believes that all women are like that. MGTOW believes that all women are like that. The red pill believes that you should never get legally married to a woman. MGTOWs believe that you should never get legally married to a woman. Red pill content says do not cohabitate with women. MGTOW content says do not cohabitate with women. I cohabitate with women, and it has not one bit shifted my red pill awareness or my red pill actions. I happen to be an exception to the rule. Maybe it stays that way. Maybe it doesn't. But as far as I'm concerned, it seems to be working swimmingly for me. The minute that it doesn't, I'm out. So to answer your question, Luis Orozco, the red pill and MGTOW are literally the same thing. They intertwine at every point. And also be careful for fake MGTOWs, Luis. Because fake MGTOWs, what they'll try to do is when you try to define what MGTOW is, no matter what you say, they'll say, oh, you still don't get it. He still doesn't get it. That's not exactly it. No, fake MGTOWs are like women. They want to remain mysterious. They don't want anybody to really peg them or figure them out. So when you attempt to define MGTOW, they always tell you that you're wrong so that they can keep this air of mystery and intrigue. No, MGTOWs and red pill guys are literally the same thing. I would say maybe a difference is that red pill guys are probably a little bit more aggressive in terms of going out and getting women. MGTOW guys a little bit more defensive. They tend to sort of take maybe a defensive approach. If a woman presents herself to him, he'll take the opportunity if he sees that there's low risk. Red pill guys like, listen, I see a hot girl with a fat ass and some big fake tits, I'm going after her. The MGTOW guy will say, okay, let's see if she comes over and talks to me. That's the best way I can define it. Very good question, though. Very, very good question. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, man. The guy's as good as they come. Thomas Munier says, I want to see Donovan's cat that's in the studio. Yeah, I don't know where she's at. I usually don't keep the door open because I don't want him jumping around, but no, we have 3 cats. We have 3 cats and 2 dogs. So we got a fucking zoo here at the Sharpe family compound. Shout out goes to Colonel Sanders the 16th. Got the phone lines are jammed. I've got MT2, you're up first, followed by 520, 252, and 630. I'm going to come to you guys in about 30 seconds. Janik, L'Italian, checking in from Hong Kong. Good to see you in here. New York's Ninth Wonder. Good to see you in here. Charles Reinhart, shout out to you, my friend. Thanks for watching. Tom Brokaw says, I have an emergency fund that can last me 2 years. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, Tom Brokaw just said, I have an emergency fund that can last 2 years. That's what you need to do. You don't need to have a 2-year, backup plan like Tom Brokaw, but I have 6 months of expenses in my safe in case this just goes to shit. If they somehow, if I lose my voice and they chop off my fingers or they chop off my hands so I can't write and figure out how to keep me off the internet, I'll be good for at least 6 months. And then I'll probably collect disability. Either way, you got to have money saved up. Ace in Spades with the $2 super chat says, waiting on your course on dissecting woman talk. Yes, Womanese 101. You know it. That is going to be a monumental course. You guys are really, really going to like that. I'm working on it right now. You guys are really going to like this course. It's really going to clear a lot up for you. Tony Bruno's in the house, T21 server. Smash that like button, brother. Tony Bruno is the only man shorter than I am that I am actually afraid to get in a fight with. I thoroughly believe that Tony Bruno would probably, I don't know that he could beat me, but he would make it look like I lost the fight. I'd be like, you should see the other guy. That would be me. Bramblebush says, don't women usually break up with men? Yeah. If you had tuned in at the beginning of the show, Bramblebush, you would have seen that I talked about the fact that men only end relationships about 10% of the time. I don't have any facts or studies or statistics to back this up. This is just my personal experience and things that I've heard and experienced myself. So yeah. All right, let us go to the phone lines. If you want to get in on the conversation, 914-205-5356. That is the number to call. The phone number is on your screen. It is also in the chat. Let's get started here. Let us go to who I believe is MT2. Is this MT2?
Yes, it is that one. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
All good. I've been literally trying to wake up at 4 a.m. and it's fucking with me, so I'm a bit tired. But it reminded me of a story when you said about branch swinging, so I kind of want to say it now.
Sure, let's do it.
So I met this girl a while ago, and I didn't know she had a boyfriend at that time. They were together for about half a year or so. And I knew her from high school, and I just opened up a conversation with her and said, hey, let's go for a coffee and let's meet and let's talk. She said, okay, fine. We go out at 8 o'clock at night. And we go to a cafe, have some coffee, whatever, we talk. And I run my game on her. And everything's going smooth, it's going fine. And I ask her, what's your relationship like? And she's like, we go through a rough patch. It's been tough, we've been fighting. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely hooking up with her. So I game further and further. At 11 o'clock, 11 and a half, I take her home. And she hugs me. I'm like, okay, fine. I go home, I start to sleep. I fall asleep and I hear my phone ringing. And it's her and she says, I kind of want to be with you.
Wow.
And
Holy
I
shit.
say, don't you have a boyfriend? yeah, that's 100% it happened. And I say, don't you have a boyfriend? And she's like, yeah, but I want to be with you. And I said, hey, I don't know you well enough, but if you want to be with me, prove it.
Okay, good.
5 minutes later, she texts me. I broke up with my boyfriend. I want to be with you.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, what the?
Wow.
I remained shook. In my head, I knew she was going to cheat on me or like branch swing again if I was with her. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be with her just to play around. But what followed, I kind of want to ask you a question about, because her boyfriend, I wasn't really into any sport at that time and whatever, but I had game and I was intelligent and whatever.
Right.
And her boyfriend was a tennis player and a kickboxer, a very big quote unquote player in the city. And 2 days later, he came up to my high school with his brother and 3 of his friends to try to beat me up. And a colleague of mine was outside the high school, and he went up to him and said, call MT2. I want to talk to him outside. I want to beat him up. And my friend de-escalated, whatever. And I wanted to ask you, because I heard, when the girl breaks up with you and you kind of want to fight, beat up the other guy, you look like the biggest pussy and the biggest dumb fuck.
That's right.
How would you approach a situation like this? How should a guy properly take a breakup?
Okay, so if you're the guy and you get broken up with, how should you handle it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that reaction was fucked up.
Listen, this is a very, very good question, MT2, and thanks for the call, man. That's a very, very good question. So MT2's question is, if you are the guy and you are getting broken up with by the girl, which is going to happen 90% of the time, but if you happen to be blindsided with a breakup, or if you know she's going to break up with you, this takes a lot of mental strength and a poker face to be able to do this. But if you do this, I promise you she won't go anywhere. I promise you she won't go anywhere. You guys ready? If your girl... Now, what you shouldn't do is go and kick the guy's ass if you know she's cheating on you. If you know she's cheating on you, that's not that guy's fault. Even if he knew she had a boyfriend and he fucks her, still not his fault. If a girl doesn't put herself in position to cheat, she doesn't cheat. Her cheating is her fault. So I say to all you guys out here, never, ever, ever blame the guy that fucked your girl. Don't blame the guy that fucked your wife. Well, he ruined my relationship. No, he didn't. He is just being a man. Well, he ended my family. No, he didn't. He's just being a man. If a woman wants to fuck a guy, 99.9% of men are going to fuck a woman if that woman wants him to fuck her. That is not his fault. He is a man. This is what we're designed to do. If a sexually attractive woman wants to have sex with us, it doesn't matter whether she has a ring on or not, or in a relationship or not, we are going to fuck her. Where the fault lies is with the wife or the girlfriend for putting herself in that situation. So you dudes out here wanting to kick the guy's ass for fucking your girl, bruh, listen, man, don't hate the player, hate the game. You need to have your girl in check. You need to put things in place to make sure she doesn't cheat. But here is exactly how to handle being dumped and broken up with. And guys, I have used this dozens of times because I'm always ready for it. I never ever take for granted that I'm ever good with girls. I never took for granted that Chrissy was not just going to come in and say, Donovan, we're done. I never took for granted that Christiana was going to say, Donovan, we're done. The girl that tried to trap me with a kid. Never take that for granted. So if a girl walks in, or it's probably not going to be face-to-face, but if a girl calls you up or she texts you and says, Donovan, I think we should start seeing other people. Donovan, I want to break up. Here's your response. Oh my God. Oh, thank God. 10 times out of 10, she's going to be like, what do you mean, thank God? Oh, well, to be honest with you, Cindy, I've actually thought about seeing other people as well. I've actually thought about breaking up. And to be honest with you, I was probably going to do it this weekend, but I didn't really know how to tell you. So listen, hey, it sounds to me like we're both on the same page. You want to move on. I want to move on. Hey, you know what? We'll call this an amicable split. We'll shake hands. We'll let bygones be bygones. Nobody hurt, no harm, no foul. Guys, no less than 247% of the time does the girl say, what? What are you talking about? And my thing is, well, listen, you just told me you wanted to break up. I was feeling the same way. Where's the confusion? Well, no, that's not what I meant. Well, that's exactly what you meant. You just told me that you wanted to start seeing other people, right? Right? You just told me you needed to go find yourself, right? Right? You just told me that you wanted to break up. You didn't want to be in a relationship anymore with me, right? Well, yeah, that's right. Listen, I feel the same way. If two people feel the same way about something, we should act on it. We used to feel the same way about each other romantically. We don't anymore, so we go our separate ways. Well, wait a minute. I think we should talk about this. Well, actually, there's really not much to talk about. I've actually got plans a little bit later on tonight, but I'll talk to you later. Guys, I'm here to tell you, there is not a woman, there is not a female on the face of the earth. There's not a woman on the face of this planet that would just be like, all right, well, if you're okay with it, then I'm okay with it too. No. When a woman breaks up with a man or says she needs to take a break or we should start seeing other people, whatever excuse they give for wanting to break up with you, they always expect you to react adversely. They always expect you to be like, no, please don't leave me. Please, please. Which, of course, reduces her attraction to you. But if you're the one guy, and I promise you, guys, I promise you, no man has ever done this before. I used to do it all the time. And I would say anywhere between 60 and 75% of women who broke up with me or ended the fuck buddy arrangement, I ended up fucking a week later, at least. At least. Well, why wasn't it the next day, Donovan? Well, my man, I gotta make her sweat it out, right? If I told her I got plans tonight, whether I do or not, I gotta be gone. So all week long, she's on your line. She's blowing up your phone. Hey, we need to talk. Hey, I acted childishly, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to be in a relationship again? Well, no, I don't really want to be in a relationship. Like, you broke up with me and I was good with that. But we can hook up every now and again. Well, no, I don't want to do that. All right, well, we have nothing to talk about. 2 minutes later, all right, I'll be over in 10 minutes. Guys, this is how it goes. So never, ever, ever react adversely to a woman or a girl breaking up with you. You always make sure, no matter what, when she says, I want to break up, I want to start seeing other people, oh, thank God, text message, voice, whatever. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, you let me off the hook. Well, what are you talking about? Well, I've kind of been feeling the same way. I've wanted to see other people myself, but I didn't really know how to tell you. So I was just kind of waiting for the right time. I was actually going to tell you this weekend. But listen, man, you beat me to it. 11 times out of 10, she's not going anywhere, guys. I've done this many, many times. All right, let us go to area code 520. Area code 520, you're on live with Donovan. What's your name and location?
Hey, what's going on, Donovan? It's Brow215.
What's up, Brow215?
Yeah, I'm calling out of Tucson. Yeah, I got like two quick subjects and like situation I want to talk to you about. Now, the first subject is these blue pill like simps. Like why are they like combative? And why do they try to like dismiss, the red pill truth?
Well,
like, I don't know. I don't get it, man.
So what you're asking me, and don't worry, guys. Like, there's nothing going on here with my camera. I'm just having some technical difficulties. So what you're asking me is why do men detract the red pill? Why are they always trying to deny red pill truth and try to deny game? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because I share your content on my Facebook like all the time, and like all of the guys that I'm Facebook friends with that I was in the guard with, like I send them your content, and like because I have the messenger app, and like I see that the message is read, but I basically get little to no responses, and I think some guys they like being blue pill. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, man.
Well, the first answer to your question is ignorance is bliss, right? We've all heard that before. Some people just like not knowing how the sausage is made. They'd rather be mystified than actually know the truth. When it comes down to it, what was your name? Brow? Was that your name?
Brell, Brell.
Oh, Brell. My bad. BRL. Okay. Well, the thing is most people would prefer pretty lies to ugly truth. That's the first reason. But the second reason why men deny red pill truth is because they are ego invested in what they have believed their whole lives. It can't be like this. No, you have to treat women well to prove yourself. You have to become a woman's friend before you become sexually involved with them. They're ego invested, and by admitting that the way they're doing it is wrong, it's almost a shot to their ego. Men don't want to admit that they've had it wrong. But here's the third reason why men deny red pill truth. Because they're mad at it. They know that what red pill truth is, to live the red pill life is hard and damn near impossible, especially in this day and age. They know it's going to be very, very difficult, right? And so that's why they deny the red pill. This is why they deny the truth. They want to be continue to be mystified. They don't know. They don't really want to know how the sausage is made. They want to remain willfully ignorant. That's the first reason, right? The second reason is that their ego invested. They don't want to admit that they've gotten it wrong. And the third reason is they just hate on dudes who play the game better than they do. That's all that is. What's your second question?
Now the second subject is, now how do you combat when a chick says guys play games too? Like, how do you rebuttal that?
Why would you want to rebuttal that?
I don't know. It's just,
listen, if something...
I thought it was something that I thought it was something that you could rebuttal. Like guys play games too. Well,
so what's your rebuttal?
Say this.
What's your rebuttal to that? So do you have a rebuttal, or are you asking me for a rebuttal?
No, I have no rebuttal. That's why I'm asking you.
Right. Here's the thing, right? The reason why you're looking for a rebuttal is because you know it's true. Yes, we men do play games too, right? But let me ask you another question. If someone were to call me on the air and say, Donovan, you've got a 2-inch dick, you're 300 pounds, and you live in your mother's basement, what would be the rebuttal for that? I wouldn't.
Not true.
Well, obviously, but I'm not going to rebuttal something I know isn't true. Be like, all right, next caller. But then if somebody came up and said, Donovan, you're a menace to society. You fucked all these girls in Vegas and blah 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 blah. You were a player. You were bad for women. You ruined marriages. What's the rebuttal for that, caller? What's the rebuttal for that, bro? There is no rebuttal because it's true. The reason why you want to rebuttal it is because you know it's true. So when we get on talking about women ain't shit, what do women like to do? No, they're not. It's because men ain't shit. Well, the reason they respond to rebuttal is because they know what they're talking about is true. So when women say men play games too, well, yeah, we do play games. And if you know it's true, there's no need to respond. So when you're out with a girl and she says, I'll bet you're a player. You want to know what your rebuttal is for that? You have an eye for talent. I'll bet you say that to all the girls. Your rebuttal is, yeah, I do. Is it working so far? Right? You probably, how many girlfriends do you have? Well, counting you or my other wife, right? Like, you have to understand the difference between just being combative and a shit test. There is no rebuttal to men play games too. It is absolutely true. But the reason why men play games, and this is not a rebuttal, never ever tell this to a woman because you're never ever going to win this argument. The reason why we as men play games is because women play games, right? And then it goes back and forth. Well, you started. No. Feminism started this. The reason why men have to use game to fuck pretty girls these days is because women play games. 60 years ago, women didn't play games. They were thin, they were kind, they were different, they didn't have sex until they were married. Enter feminism 60 years later, and now you have to use a complex a blend of Keno and charm and all kinds of...
that's a fact.
Yeah, you have to use all these tricks and... No, back then, men didn't really have to play games to get a woman. All he had to be was responsible, masculine, a leader, and want a family. He could have any girl he wants. Today, that barely gets you in the door with most women, and even if it does, the bitches are starting at 45 years old. Good call there by Brell. Area code 252. You're on live at Donovan. Name and location.
What's up, Donovan? It's my name's Kitchen, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Kitchen in Raleigh, man. Did you hear about the NC State taking it to Duke last night? Beat them by 22, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. The guy that I work with at my job, he was cussing up a storm because I mean he's not a Duke fan, but I think he threw like 5 bills on him, and he came up short.
So what's going on, Kitchen? How you doing, man?
Dude, no, man, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Raleigh, North Carolina's weather this year has been awesome. I've had a great past 2 years. Finally living on my own. Did the roommate situation for maybe like the first 4 or 5 years that I've been out in Raleigh and been doing my own thing. I wanted to ask you, man. Like, I don't have a problem with game or anything like that. Okay. But I will say, like, my problem, I think, is, you know, vetting quality women and, like, meeting them where I meet them. And I've come to realize, like, dude, like, if a woman sees you as, like, just a sexually attractive and, you know, somewhere at a bar where you're drinking and it's casual and she sees, like, how well you socialize with other people and not just women,
Mm-hmm.
it really attracts them to you.
Yes, it does.
They make it easy for you. But the problem that I've had is, like, I'll meet like the last 4 or 5 women that I've been involved with. It's like they've lied and ultimately like I've been the side piece. I've been the side piece, and like I'm wondering how, because like I end up liking them. Like I like we keep it casual. We hang out maybe once, twice a week.
Yes.
Super casual, always fun. But it's like for one, like I don't like knowing that I'm, disrespecting some dude that's probably a good guy, and I mean, I'm typically happier when I've got like a girl that's like considered long term, or not having to go out and get something new like every couple of weeks. So I was just wondering, like, how do I like look at girls, or like how do I vet them better?
Well, the first thing that I'm gonna, because you asked a few different questions. Number one, the reason you're getting attached to these women is because you're spending too much time. Because be honest, Kitchen, you're not hanging out with these girls once or twice a week. You're hanging out with them 3 or 4 times a week. Otherwise, you wouldn't catch feeling for these women. Number two, in order to keep from catching feelings for women that you have no business catching feelings for, you need to be fucking more than one woman. If any one woman gets more than 50% of your sexual attention and availability, it is a mathematical inevitability that you are going to catch feelings for said female. Always make sure you are boning at least one other female in addition to another one. Always be sleeping with 2 women. That way you're less likely to be to catch feelings for them. Here's something else that you're going to really, really need to understand. You really need to get over this moral compass. And I'm not telling you to be immoral. I'm not telling you to intentionally go out and try to ruin relationships. But here's the deal, man. Women could not give less of a shit about morals. Women will fuck their mother's boyfriends. They'll fuck their bosses. They'll fuck their female boss's husband. They'll fuck their best friends. They have absolutely no morality. Now, we as men, we have a stronger sense of morality and a stronger sense of justice, so we feel a little more guilty if the girl has a boyfriend or a husband. I hate to say this to you, but in order to survive in the sexual marketplace today, you need to put that shit out of your mind. Now, if you really do have a problem with sleeping with somebody else's girlfriend or wife, only when you find out that she has a girlfriend or that she has a boyfriend or husband, that's when you exit stage left. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know I was the side piece. But dude, most of the ass I got in
that's how it's been,
listen, most of the ass I got in Vegas, I knew I was the side piece. She was in a relationship, she wanted side dick. I was fun and exciting, had a nice car and a nice place. That's just how it goes. I'm in with a strip club. I always had drugs. I mean, that's just how it goes. But what you need to understand, you can have your own moral code if you want to, but don't do it because you're assuming that her boyfriend is a good guy. You don't give a fuck about him any more than he gives a fuck about you. You don't give a fuck about her any more than she gives a fuck about you. I'm not saying to be immoral, but you really need to be very careful about bringing the moral cathedral into a sexual marketplace that is anything but moral. Does that make sense to you?
No, that makes sense. And I mean, it's never like a heartbreak or anything when like the things get cut off.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it would be like better if it just didn't happen like that, or if the girls were just honest with me at the beginning.
Kitchen. Listen, I hear you, man. Listen. I'm on your side. Dude. I wish girls were honest. I wish girls didn't cheat. I wish wives didn't have affair. I wish I didn't have to be an asshole to my girlfriend to keep her in check. But this is how it is, Kitchen. Like, we can talk all we want about what we want and about, I wish it. Listen, I'm with you 1,000%. But this is how it is, man.
Would you agree? Would you agree that that like how men are honest, and like I feel like the guys that placate, like the blue pill guys, and maybe some guys that like you said earlier, like MGTOW standoffish, don't really like more defensive, like but like as opposed to like red pill guys, like you said, the offensive coordinator that you are, like you go out and you talk to a woman, like the women are attracted to like just brutal honesty from men.
Yes, of course they are. Well, women are attracted to traditional masculinity, and brutal honesty is traditional masculinity.
I would appreciate that sort of aspect from a woman as well. You know what I mean? Just be upfront about your situation.
No. I get it. Listen,
Kitchen.
Listen, again, I agree with you 1,000%. It would be great if every woman were upfront about their situation. Here's why they're not. Kitchen. Women have a dualistic sexual strategy. Alpha fucks, beta bucks. They need a man to take care of all of their non-sexual needs and a man to take care of her sexual needs. Now, some women have both. Some women have a husband and a boyfriend. And the reason for this is because of feminism. Feminism emasculates men.
Yeah.
Because it does this, you can never find alpha fucks, beta bucks in the same man. Again, 60 years ago, there were all kinds of men out here who were sexually attractive, who were also really good guys and took care of house and home. Those same guys get cheated on these days. And again, women can never find alpha fucks, beta bucks in the same man because of feminism. So again, we can talk all we want about how I wish a woman would be upfront with you about her situation. No. And then now the question becomes, well, why doesn't she just break up with her boyfriend or husband? Because she doesn't want to be on the trapeze without the net. She knows that the alpha bad boy is not going to listen to her drone on about her problems for 4 hours on the phone. She knows the fucking alpha motorcycle
Yeah, I don't
guy.
talk on the phone with girls, dude.
Well,
ever.
This is the point. Women know that they can't get both things from the same men. This is why they're never upfront with you about their situation. I'm going to answer your first question, and then I got to let you go. You want to know, hey, how do I vet women? Where do I meet women that aren't going to play me, whatever the case may be? How do I meet high quality women? The answer to your first question is, how do I vet women? You can buy the course, How to Vet Women, on donovansharpe.com. You can buy it right there, donovansharpe.com/courses. Takes you from A to Z. Here's another tip. If you're looking to meet quality women, do not go to places where there is supposed to be sexual attraction. And let me explain. If you go to a bar, right? If you go to a bar and you meet a woman, she's going to look good, she's going to smell good, she's going to be polite, she's going to be honest, right? Or not honest, she's going to be polite, she's going to be kind, right? Because she knows she's there trying to attract a man, right? If you go to places where women are actively trying to attract a man, you're never going to find out who they really are. You can't go out and find quality women anymore. Live your everyday life and you will run into them at the grocery store, at the coffee shop, I don't know if people go to the library anymore. Just live your everyday life. Live your everyday life. And if a woman, if you're at a restaurant and you see that somebody got a girl's order wrong and she's really sweet about it, she doesn't have to be sweet. Most women are bitches. Okay, she's good looking, she's polite, she's in another element. She's obviously just here trying to get a meal. She's not trying to, catch a man. Then maybe you want to get up and go over and talk to her. The point is that you will never, ever meet a quality woman where people are trying to hook up sexually. You're not going to meet up with a quality woman on Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, the bar, the club, singles meets, none of that stuff. Quality women, 99.5 times out of 100, you meet them in your everyday life because the purpose is just to live life. That's really the only time you're going to see women. Thanks for the call, Kitchen in Raleigh. Very, very, very good call there. Let me shout out some super chats here. Area code 630-323-973-315, 541 and 305. You guys are all next in the queue. Be a little patient. I'm going to get to these super chats here. Steve Johnson with the $10 super chat says, Donovan, I agree with everything, but sometimes I think women you highlight are very low SMV. Wednesday night club thought, broke baby mama types. Who cares what 1s and 4s are saying? Screw them. They're gross. Steve, I appreciate the super chat, but you're wrong, man. Listen, the reason why the sexual marketplace is in flux is because women of high sexual market value are fucking up the game. Women of high sexual market value, women who could get married and have kids with high value men, these are the women sleeping around. These are the women cheating on their boyfriends. These are women cheating on their husbands. The women that I describe are not just low sexual market value types. We don't give a shit about those. I don't care about 1s through fucking 4s. Nobody gives a shit about 1s through 4s. No. 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, insufferable. They cheat. They can't cook. I'm not talking about 1 through 4s, Steve. I think you might need to go back and listen to my archive. I respectfully disagree. Ace and Spades with the $2 super chat says, don't hate the player, hate the game. Or the game. Tom Torero. Very good. Al with the $2 super chat says, women are sweet girls. Yeah, right. Charles Reinhardt with the $10 super chat says, preach Donovan, I was mad at the red pill as well in the beginning, but that was just me being mad at myself for not knowing. That's what it is. That perfectly answers Brell's question. The reason why these guys are pissed off at red pillars is because they don't know the game. You know the game. It's clear you know the game, but they don't know it, and they're mad that you know it. They don't want to admit that. Merciless6 with the $5 super chat says, brother, D Kitchen needs to holler at more chicks to peep their true sexual nature. I'm a former male exotic entertainer, and that's how I became aware. Oh my God, yeah. Listen, dude, listen. Male dancers, guys that do bachelorette parties. Oh my God, yeah. They understand the true licentiousness and hypergamous nature of women. 914-205-5356 is the number to call. Let's go to area code 630. Area code 630 on Live at Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, man, it's Matt from Chicago.
Matt in Chicago, how you doing, brother?
Hey, so check it out. I really liked your episode today. I wanted to share a quick anecdote and ask you a follow-up.
Let's do it.
So, basically, a few days ago, I refreshed my red pill knowledge with the Solomon 2 blog by Del Rock.
Good.
And I went to the gym, and a beautiful girl checking me out when I'm working out. I approach her, right? And we're talking, things are going good. She hits me with, "I have a boyfriend," and I know you'll recognize this quote. I say to her back, "Look, I'm not concerned with your boyfriend, neither should you. A boyfriend is just a placeholder for when you find a man." And and basically, the whole shtick about, it's not even a shtick, it's real shit. It's about, I don't really come across I come across a lot of fake women. I'm looking for something real. And
women are never looking for anything real. They're looking for something real exciting. That's the only real they're looking for.
Preach, brother. And so basically, we meet up that same night. I've got a pretty big backseat in my truck, and we all can connect the dots.
Of course.
The thing is, the last caller, he kept on saying this issue about men's morality, and the fact of the matter is, we can't take the responsibility off women. That's what they want.
Right.
These women are choosing to sleep around. It's it's not on us. I mean, we're not doing anything wrong. We're approaching them with something simple, casual, and so, just I wanted to share that with the Red Pill community here.
Yeah, absolutely,
Hopefully
man.
that helps you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And thanks for the call, Matt in Chicago. Yeah, listen, man, it's just like I was talking about earlier with, I think it was Kitchen in Raleigh. Kitchen sounds like he's a decent guy, and he genuinely feels bad about having fucked another man's girlfriend. But again, man, listen, women say this too. All's fair in love and war, guys, right? There are certain rules of engagement when it comes to war. But guys, I'm here to tell you, there is more at stake during a war, and they're even fairer during a war. In the sexual marketplace, there are no rules, man. This is how it is. Dude, nobody respects the sanctity, least of all women. If women don't respect the sanctity of their relationships or marriages, why the fuck should you? If a married woman wants to bang you and you have a problem with that, that's fine. Just understand she's going to cheat on somebody. In my view, it may as well be me, right? Now, of course, you run the risk of, the guy called up yesterday, talked about his wife, caught his wife in bed with somebody else, shot them both. Obviously, that's a risk that you run with that. But if you're going to stay away from married women or women with boyfriends, don't do it because it's morally on high. No, do it because you don't want to get fucking shot. That's a pretty damn good reason as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's go to area code 323. Area code 323, you're on Live at Donovan. Name and location.
Mr. Sharpe, my name is Brian. I'm in New York at the moment.
What's up? You said you're from Norman, Oklahoma?
No, my name is Brian, and I'm from New York.
Oh, New York. Okay, I was going to say, holy shit, man. How you doing, Brian?
I'm okay. Long story short, I just wanted to chip in about the reason of not wanting to pursue women.
Okay.
I learned when I was 11 that you just cannot trust women at all, period. Reason why I'm saying that is because at some point in my parents' marriage, my father, he might have not been, quote, up to standard.
Okay.
But women will take it to an extreme that men will not.
Right.
Yes, we may cheat on them. We may not treat them the way they should be. But again, at the end of the day, women take it to an extreme that we will not.
Right. Right.
What ended up happening was that my mom at some point forged my father's signature and took out a loan in his name.
Oh, wow.
And threw it under the bus. And at some point, my father found a letter from the bank saying, hey, so-and-so loan has been taken out and
you owe us money.
Payment has not been made. And at some point, my father confronted my mother about this, and her response was, and again, I taught this up to female logic. remember that one time 10 years ago when you did this to me?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Payback for that.
Unbelievable.
So,
dude.
At the end of the day, what I'm just trying to say is that, gentlemen, no matter how good you treat your woman, no matter how well you may pamper them or whatever, one way or another, just because you fucked up on one day, and excuse my language, they will figure out a way how to get even with you. And sometimes it hurts.
It does.
More
man.
than you can do anything to them.
No, I agree. Thanks for the call, Brian in New York. Yeah, man. Listen, and that's financial. And there are some men who do some skeevy financial stuff with women, but men make more than women, right? So we're bigger targets for financial fraud and all that stuff. But let's not even talk about that. Women cheat more than men. I don't know how. I don't even know why this is a debatable discussion. Women cheat more than men. Women have more opportunities to have sex. They are more impulsive than men. Heightened impulsiveness plus more opportunities equals more cheating. That's fact. That's all there is to it. Women cheat more than men. Tom Brokaw in the chat says if you poll 100 guys, most would say they're a 6. If you poll 100 women, I guarantee you most would say they're an 8. Exactly. They have an inflated sense of self-confidence and an inflated sexual market ego. They have no impulse control, and they're getting dick thrown at them all the time. Of course they're going to cheat more. They cheat more and they cheat worse. When women cheat, they never use condoms. Women are steady getting skeeted in. This is just what, dude. If a woman is sexually attracted enough to a man to cheat with that guy, she's not making him use a condom. No, sir. I speak from personal fucking experience with that. Cheating women hate condoms. They all hate condoms. They want you to hit it raw. Women are the most licentious. They're the most licentious human beings. Yeah, men, we do dirt too, but women, just like Brian in New York said, they take it to a whole other level, man. All right, let's go to area code 973. 973, you're on Live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Donovan Sharpe, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's your...
Kevin from New Jersey.
Kevin in New Jersey, how you doing, man?
Chilling, man. Well, I'm not going to keep it too long. I just wanted to actually throw out there, right? Basically just share a little bit of the game that I absorbed over the years.
Okay.
And I'll be real brief with it. So, as men, it is really a main focus to have your shit together.
Yeah.
It's not to have your shit together for the ladies. It's to have your shit together for yourself.
Right.
And I feel once you're in a space where you headed the right direction, you're, happy with yourself, I think that it alleviates a lot of the BS that can come with the women out there. You shouldn't put your trust in nobody, to say the least. If you're going to be out there trusting females, man, you got your head under, you got your head stuck in the sand, man.
It's interesting. So, it's interesting that we're talking about this, because this is one thing that I advise my guys all the time, and everybody knows this, but they very rarely live it, is you cannot make women the focal point of your life. I know it's hard. I used to be the same way. Because listen, man, dude, women are weird. They're wonderful. They're fantastic and fucked up all at the same time, all the time. Women, dude, we love fucking women. Dude, beautiful women are intoxicating. They are. But there are plenty to go around. And the more you focus on women, the less you focus on yourself. And at the end of the day, Kevin, women don't want a man who lives for them. If you need a woman to complete you, you're not a man. Women don't want to build with men. And you guys out here say, I want a woman to build with me. Dude, fuck that. You don't want a woman to build nothing with you. You need to have your shit built, and then when and if she comes to stay, you can boot her ass out if she gets out of pocket. You don't need a woman to build shit, guys. Listen, I'm tired of these dudes talking about I need a woman to build with, bruh. Like, you heard that on a fucking music video. You heard that on a fucking Tyler Perry movie. So we quit with this nonsense. I need to build with. No, fuck that. Women can't build with themselves. What the hell makes you think they're gonna want to build with you?
And this is the problem, man. A lot of us brothers out here, man. We can't live by ourselves.
Right.
We can't spend a whole month or 2 months without having a wife at home or a girlfriend or whatnot. When that happens, we tend to just lose our brain, right? I'm telling you, man. Once you get your shit together, you getting all the other things. Like, see, for me, I have hobbies, right? I have hobbies outside of my business and things I do. I love cars. I love, working out. So I'm always in a good spirit. So whenever I meet a female, it's like it's complimentary, and I'm being honest, honest to God, man. Man, bagging a woman to me is just like getting a new set of rims or a new set of turbos for my car.
Right. Yeah, right.
It's not something I'm thirsty for. It's just it's so much out there.
It's something. It's something you like to do. And thanks for the call, Kevin in New Jersey. And by the way, you have 10 seconds to get in the queue. If you're in the queue, you will get on the show, so don't sweat it. But Kevin is right. Fucking a new girl shouldn't be this earth-shattering thing. Fucking a new girl for me, if I were still out on the dating market, fucking a new girl for me would be like shooting a 200 game in bowling. That's just how it is. I could do it. I like it when I do it, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. That's the way it needs to be. You need to think of women as hobbies, right? Because just like Kevin said, when you have your shit together, you're much less susceptible to the wiles of a woman. Here's something else. When you have your shit together and women see that you know you're about your shit, they're going to naturally gravitate to you anyway. When you have your shit together, when you're living your life, when you're kicking life's ass, women are going to be naturally attracted to you anyway. So having yourself together, women are a natural byproduct of you having your shit together. You'll find that a lot of times you don't really have to chase women. They will make themselves available to you so that you can get them, but you won't have to really go far to find women if you have your shit together. Good call there by Kevin in New Jersey. All right, let's go to area code 541. Area code 541, you're on live with Donovan. Go ahead. Area code 541.
Hey, Donovan, how you doing?
Doing good. What's your name in town, 50541?
Hey, Donovan, this is Johnny B. I'm the guy that was in touch with you from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. How you been?
Doing
It's my
good,
first
man.
time calling in, man.
Yeah, dude, it's good to talk to you, man.
Likewise. Sorry about the background noise. I was actually mixing one of those green protein shakes.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I wasn't expecting to come on this quick.
It's all good, man. I got you.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 3 months, my friend. I can tell you right now that if I didn't have you, if I didn't have the rational male, I don't know where I'd be. Another thing too is if there was any way I could just get in a time machine. I'm an older guy. I'm in my mid-50s, and man, if there's anything I am just extremely jealous of is all the young guys that are getting this information from you. Yeah. So anyway, no, I just wanted to throw out an agreement and solidarity with you guys that these principles that you guys are teaching us, that you guys are relaying to us from your life experiences, from that brilliant. I call it the Keys to the Rosetta Stone, that book that Rollo wrote that I literally read 6 times. This is the key for life. I mean, there's so much more about this above and beyond just, having game with women and everything else. And, as a guy that's literally patient zero, that's made every possible mistake you can make with women.
Yep.
I'm telling you that, you young guys, you need to hang on every word Donovan's saying. You really do. And especially when times get tough. And I've literally had my life upended in ways I can't even begin to describe in the last 3 months. But, honestly, because of this community and because of the red pill and because of everything that I've learned just by drinking this stuff in, especially over about the last 1.5, 2 years, I'm doing better than I ever have.
Good.
It's really ironic.
Here, man.
One side note, in the process of me basically retooling everything, I'm back in my hometown in the state of Oregon.
Oh, good.
I've decided to take on a side gig about 3 nights a week as a club bouncer.
Oh, nice.
I'm a pretty big guy. I'm in pretty decent shape for my age, especially, and I'm also back, practicing MMA. All the stuff that you suggested, I'm putting it into practice because it's at this stage of life. It's very important for me to set the example for the young guys in my life, especially my nephews, especially my stepsons. I need to demonstrate it for them. That's where my passion is more than just meeting the next chick. To be honest with you.
Well, I will be honest with you, Johnny.
For those of you that are lacking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. My bad.
No, that's okay. There's a slight delay. I will tell you this: that side gig as a bouncer at a club, that's going to score you some pussy. Dude, you will fall ass backwards into pussy as a bouncer at a club. Listen, prepare yourself because women are going to be throwing their draws at you. I'll give you the last word.
You know what? I've been noticing that, after being overseas, especially in the Middle East, and just the standard that I've had about women over there, and then coming back to this, it's pretty damn scary,
Aye.
But aside from that, what my point on that is for you younger guys that are lacking the knowledge and the understanding of, what you're talking about, Donovan, the best way for them to literally, it's almost like being in a scientific laboratory.
Okay.
If you can if you're working a regular job during the week, but you can get a gig at a club, just working 1 or 2 nights a week, just so you can observe, just so you can people watch. It'll teach you a level of situational awareness just for your own personal security and other people's personal security. But just so you can observe what other people are doing, it's going to teach you so much about what the real deal is, along with all the other benefits you just mentioned.
Of course. Yeah, I always suggest this, Tony. I always suggest, and again, I'm going to add this to my list of occupations to see the red pill up close and personal. Be a bouncer at a club.
Exactly.
Be a bouncer at a club. Drive a taxi or an Uber, or go to Reddit. Those are my 3 suggestions. Johnny, listen, thank you for calling in, man. I believe you have my number, dude. Text me anytime. I'm glad to shoot the shit with you, man.
Hey, Donovan, I can't thank you, Rolo, and Jonathan MLD enough. That kid is awesome. And all you guys, man. You guys definitely resonate with me. And please, you young guys, please listen to this stuff and apply it. Please, I'm begging you. That's my passion.
Good stuff.
Have a good one, brother. I didn't mean to take up too much of your time.
No, it's quite all right. Johnny B in Oregon. Used to be Johnny in Saudi Arabia. Johnny is back in his hometown in Oregon on the West Coast. I'll actually be out on the West Coast right around the middle of March, flying out to Reno to attend a wedding. Yes, a wedding. Don't worry. It's a female friend of mine. It's actually, the wedding I'm going to is my ex-girlfriend's wedding. Now, before you guys get crazy, she's my ex-girlfriend that I dated when I was 13 years old, when I lived in Hawaii. So we're, a little puppy love thing there. And, listen, like most situations, we're actually about the same age. I'm a year older than she is. The years have not been kind to her. They have not been kind to her. But I'm going to go anyway. I'll go out and see Rolo. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 305. Area code 305, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Cali West, calling from Miami.
Cali West, calling from Miami. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man, for a Thursday.
Good
so,
stuff.
check this out. So I just want to tell you a quick story.
All right.
So I was dealing with a chick. Long story short is, how you meet a girl and you kind of start fucking with her, and she kind of say, like, are y'all together?
Right.
And you say, like, yeah. So that means that time I told her, yeah, you're my girl, whatever.
Right. You told
so
me
long story short is, I was going to... Yeah, so long story short is, I just allowed her to kind of just show me, if she's really, like, the girlfriend type.
Right.
Long story short is, she didn't really work out or whatever, and that was no big deal. It wasn't too major. But long story short is, I'd say, like, 2 years later, she ends up working at my job a couple months ago.
Oh, shit.
So long story short is, say that again, Donovan?
I said, oh, shit.
So she works at my job, and mind you, she wasn't even fucking with me or whatever after that. But long story short is, I met her, now she doesn't have a car, and, I guess she kind of needed a ride home.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Yeah, but me, I'm not boo-boo the fool, Every time she asked me for a ride, I kind of bullshitted her. But long story short is, of course, I ended up eventually giving her a ride, but I kind of told her, I wanted to fuck or whatever. Right. So, of course, she sucked my dick and we fucked or whatever.
Yeah,
and,
cash, gas.
long story short is, at the end of the day, what I did this time was, now she's starting to catch feelings. Now she kind of likes me and stuff, and she's trying to play the girlfriend role. But basically, when she kind of asked me, like, oh, so do you like me? And I'm like, yeah, all right.
How old is she?
How
old is she?
She's about 28.
Oh, listen, Cali West, this is perfect. So you were fucking her back when she was 26, right? And she's like, hey, am I your girl? Yeah,
Yes,
you're my
sir.
girl. Trying to see if she's, girl for material. Guess what? She was still a little bit too young. She still was a little hotter than she normally would be. Fast forward 2 years later at 28, now about to be 29 and 30. Now she wants to be in a committed relationship with you. This is how this always goes. This is what happens when you fuck with younger chicks and then you end up fucking with them years later. They don't take you seriously for a relationship when they're 22, but when they're 32, now all of a sudden they want to settle down with a white picket fucking fence and 4 goddamn kids. I'll give you the last word.
Hey, you damn right, dude. I guess kind of like what Coach Greg Adams would say. She's a buzzer beater.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you what, man, and thanks for the call, Kelly West of Miami. I swear to God, I thought I had cornered the market on the funny red pill jargon. I have things like banana gobbler, cucumber connoisseur, Kevin in sales, Chris the cocaine dealer, Dave the unemployed garage band guitar player. But Coach Greg Adams he's made up buzzer beaters. He calls them 49ers. 49ers in Coach Greg Adams' ease are women who are in their 40s who think they're 9, so he calls them 49ers. But these are buzzer beaters. That's funny as shit, and I can only assume that buzzer beater in Coach Greg Adams' ease is a woman who's right about to hit the wall, and then she wants to snatch up a man right before she smashes into the wall to beat said buzzer. That's funny. A buzzer beater. Fucking Greg, dude. That guy's crazy, but very, very good. Air code 832. I'm going to come to you in just a second. I got a couple of super chats to read out here. Steve Johnson with another $5 super chat says, at Tom Brokaw, that's all I was saying. All women can be awful, but the ones on Reddit and writing articles are busted angry. Nines aren't posting on Reddit. No, you're absolutely right, Steve. Nines aren't posting on Reddit, but they don't have to. And trust and believe, just because they're not posting this stuff on Reddit doesn't mean they're not out here. Listen, Steve, I'm here to tell you, bruh. I have stuck my dick in more 8s, 9s, and 10s than anybody I know. I'm not telling you that to brag. That's just the facts. But again, 8s, 9s, and 10s get up to just as much, if not more, fuckery than 6s and 7s. Just because they're 9s and 10s, Steve Johnson, doesn't make them any more virtuous. 9s and 10s are not higher quality per se than 6s and 7s. The reason why we know about 6s and 7s is because they have time to be posting shit on Reddit. All the busted chicks have time to be on Reddit and posting articles and Instagram shits. 9s and 10s are out there fucking everybody they think can get them a Lamborghini. Listen, if you don't believe me, Steve, see for yourself. See for yourself, man. Go out to Vegas, go out to LA, go out to Miami, where there's a high concentrated number of super attractive women. Dude, and those women really know how to play the game. So be very, very careful about mistaking a woman's sexual market value with her relationship market value. Just because she's a 9 or a 10 does not mean that she won't put you through some shit. My man, be very careful with that. Charles Reinhart with another $5 super chat says, women looking for something real equals them chasing their delusional fantasies. That's funny. Greg in New Jersey with the $5 super chat says, at 24, my life turned around investing in podcast and running this from my parents' house till I get studio space. I'm taking a risk. Young for all. Very good. Yeah, this was never really a risk for me. When I started this thing, all I wanted to do was write articles to help men with my experiences. One thing led to another, and now we're here. So good luck to Greg in New Jersey with that. 914-205-5356. The lines are closed, but if you're in the queue, you'll get on the show. Area code 832. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan. It's Bacon. I'm calling from H-Town.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm currently working at Home Depot, pushing carts outside. I'm hearing this live, and I like what I'm hearing.
Good.
All right, so what happened was there was this customer that came to me, and he needed some help getting wood. And he was telling me about the wood he got for his wife, and he basically told me how he said, by the way, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so he said that I'm getting this to my wife, so, happy wife, happy life. And I just instantly cringed inside when he told me that.
Oh, wow.
And currently at Home Depot, we have to do everything for the customers. We have to make them happy, but I just have to ask him, are you really sure that it's worth doing this for your wife? Because you're the man of the house, and why are you working trying to make your wife happy? If anything, she's supposed to be the woman trying to make you happy. And I could tell as I was telling that to him, he was saying yes, but I can really tell that he wasn't listening to what I was saying.
Right.
It's almost like he was rejecting it.
Right.
I could tell.
Right.
Yeah, so It's just those things where,
good.
You know, what else can you do?
No, listen, that's a very good point. Thanks for the call, the guy from Home Depot in H-Town. Yeah, this is what happens when we try to spread. Don't talk about the red pill to strangers, guys. Like, I know that guy was trying to help that dude. Happy wife, happy life. Boy, let me tell you why you're wrong. That's not the right approach. You're just gonna have to let these people like find out for themselves, man. That's really what this comes down to. All right, let's go to area code 828. Area code 828. You're on live with Donovan. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey Donovan, this is Tim from North Carolina.
Tim in North Carolina. How you doing, man?
Good. I'll make this quick, but okay, you know how you were talking earlier about how women will always, when they leave you, they've been banging that guy and then they monkey branch.
Oh, of course.
Usually for months. Okay, well, the topic I want to discuss is none of these channels talk about, but how the family matters, how she's brought up. But in my situation, okay, well, she had her grandma had 4 daughters by the same man, so they're all women in the family.
Okay.
And every single one was the same. Her mom cheated. She told me one time I would never cheat because my mom cheated on my dad, and I've seen how that destroyed him.
Right.
Well, anyways, then months after, I see all the red flags. She's not answering my calls. She's always somewhere else. Well, every time, her excuse every time is, I'm either at my grandma's, one of my aunts, or my female cousin.
Right.
And I'm a family man. Our families grew up together. I was a family man with her family as well. But then, now that I look back at it, every female in her family, her grandma, her aunts, and her cousin were covering for her cheating.
There you go. That's how it works, man. That is
So
works.
that just shows you on how women do each other as well, and how families are. Instead of teaching her, the women in her family, especially the elders, teaching her that's immoral, you need to treat your men right. They've all done this, and then they encourage it.
Yes, of course they do. And again, what you have to understand. Yeah. Go ahead. What you have to understand, Tim, is that women are always going to cover for each other, right? The only time you will ever get the truth from your girlfriend's friend is if you look on her phone and look at her conversation. Your girlfriend's friends are never ever going to be honest with you about what your girlfriend gets up to. I'll give you the last word.
Oh yeah, the last thing is so yeah, man, yeah, that's true. The girls' nights out, they have a girl code. They kind of blackmail each other. They're stick to each other because they don't want their secrets getting out. But last thing is, my sister, of course, cheated on her boyfriend before, so she goes to my ex's aunt and says, "I feel bad because I cheated on this man." And my ex's aunt's response was, "What he doesn't know doesn't hurt." So that's how these women operate. They have no loyalty, no morals.
Nope, no loyalty, no morals. Thank you very much for that story, Tim, in North Carolina. This dude met a girl who has, 3-4 generations of cheating? Great-grandma was a cheater. Great-aunt was a cheater. Grandma was a cheater. Aunt was a cheater. Mom's a cheater. Sisters, female cousins, nieces, everybody's cheating. Every female is cheating. And again, I guess this goes back to, what was his name? Kitchen in Raleigh. Well, where do I meet quality women? How do I know she's quality? Pay very close attention to a woman's relationships with her family, right? If you find out that mom cheated on dad, sister cheats on husbands, cousins cheating, guess what? She gonna be a cheater too. She can tell you all she wants to. Well, I'm not gonna cheat because I saw what my mom did and it destroyed my dad. Women don't give a fuck about destroying men. They do. Listen, they give not a single shit. So if you think that she's not going to cheat on you because she saw how her mother destroyed her dad, think again. Think again. Do as I say, not as I do. Women don't do that. They do what they see their moms doing. Hoes raise hoes, guys. This is why single mothers raise single mothers. If a girl comes from a single mother household, they are going to be single mothers. That's how this goes. One begets the other. Area code 786. Area code 786, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, Donovan, what's going on? It's Ace, man.
What's going on, Ace? How you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. I just got to say, first, watch this show for the whole past week. It's been incredibly insightful.
Thank you.
I was like, goddamn. Like, even, earlier when you were talking about sexual market value and how it's, what do I want to say?
Relationship market value?
Women, they don't care. I'm sorry, say again.
So you mean sexual market value versus relationship market value or something else?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually, shit, it has like low signal over here.
That's okay, no
Can
problem.
you hear me better now?
Yep, I hear you much better. Go ahead.
All right, okay. Yeah, about how it all is fair in love and war, man. And I was like in my car saying hallelujah, man. Like this guy is like, I was screaming in my car, man. He was like preaching the truth. Like it just hit me in that one of those moments, and I was like, yes, he's saying the exact. He's pretty much preaching the truth.
This is how it is out here, man.
One thing that I definitely know for sure is when it comes to experience, like I had to see one girl that I was simping over like back like a couple of years back, and I had to watch her like literally leave with another guy.
Wow.
When I was like in a bar and something like that, like she pretty much didn't give like no fucks like whatsoever. So it's like it's a jungle out here.
It is,
man. When it comes to when it comes to sexual market value in the dating world, man, and it's like you said, if she doesn't care, the guy probably wouldn't care either. So I don't think you should like put yourself in that moralistic position when it comes to having sex with all these girls, man. That's all I wanted to say for the day, man.
Awesome. Well, Ace, thank you for the call, man. Yeah, Ace is right. Ace is right. Women never feel bad about cheating on their boyfriends or husbands. They never feel bad. The only time they feel guilty is when they get caught or if it affects them or their children in a negative way. They say they're sorry. They're not sorry. They're just sorry they got caught, number one. They're sorry, number two, that they're going to have to continue fucking this guy. Now they really have to be sneaky about it. That's the real reason they're sorry. Let us go to area code 347. Area code 347, you're on Live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, Donovan, this is Alvo from New York.
Hey, what's going on, Alvo?
I'm not using my real name right now.
That's fine.
I'm trying to keep it low-key because I got a lot of stuff I can say.
Okay.
But first of all, I want to tell you, I came onto your content in the middle of last week, right? First of all, thank you. There's something I'd really like you to do a lot more, but thank you for bringing up the masculine burden of performance, my dude.
Absolutely.
That shit fucking sent me down a rabbit hole like no other, man. And thank you so much for that.
Good. Absolutely,
Thank you so much for that, man.
No problem.
The masculine burden of performance, I feel like the strength of that alone will get you every fucking thing you need, man.
I agree.
But the other thing too is today also as well. I just picked up the audiobook for Rollo Tomasi's the Rational Male.
Goodbye, man. Very goodbye.
All right, so I'm about to go down the rabbit hole on that, and after that, it's your book's next.
All right, good stuff, man. Well, you're off to a good start, man.
What I wanted to say was like I'm a dude that was purple pilled for a long time. Now, and this was before I came across the pill terminology. I knew nothing about red pill or blue pill.
Okay.
But I'm a really introspective, very cerebral person.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time, contemplating the human condition, looking at men, looking at women. I was like, I had known all of these things before I even came across any of this red pill stuff, man. It's fucking wild. I thought I was the only one. I really felt alienated. I felt like I was a villain or something to people when I told them the stuff that I had observed and learned on my own.
They treat you like that, though, right?
You know what I mean?
They're like, wait a minute, what's wrong
Yeah,
with you?
I felt like a villain. It was like,
dude,
oh, you're so negative. I'm like, yo, I'm not negative. I'm looking at this reasonable. I'm not even mad, right? Sure, I was hurt. I was hurt by women, but I was like, I'm not even mad about this anymore.
Right.
This is just people.
Right.
This is just how we are, man.
Right.
It's okay. Like it's not about good and bad. Like you can look at a great white shark biting a baby seal in half. That's not good or bad. That's just how it fucking works, man.
That's profound, man. You're right. You can't take this stuff personally.
That's just how it works.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So when I listen to everything you're saying, I'm like, yo, I've been saying the same shit, and you're telling me there's like a whole brain trust of people that have been on this too. I'm like, yo, okay, I'm in here. I'm in there. I'm so in. I am on board with all of this.
Good.
Like,
how old are
you? There's a few. I'm 30, man.
Oh, perfect. Oh, dude. Oh, man, dude. Listen, man. Congratulations, dude. Oh my God, dude. You are about to go on a magic carpet ride. I found the red pill at 32, and here I am 10 years later. My life is 100 times better than I could have ever imagined.
I'm thinking because here's the thing. I always dreaded it. Like, oh man, I'm 30, I'm old. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. Like,
oh no.
But you know what? I'm not sweating it.
No.
Sweating it.
And I'll tell you why, Alvo in New York. The reason why this is one of the things that I love about being a man. You are 30 years old. A 30-year-old man is the equivalent of probably a 16-year-old girl, right? As a 30-year-old man, you're not quite in your sexual prime yet, but you're on your way, right? So a girl reaches the dawn of her sexual prime at 18 years old. 18, 19 years old, that's the beginning of a 10-year run where she could have any man she wants, and a lot of times they do have any man she wants, right? Well, the same for men. We got to wait a little bit longer, but a lot of guys like yourself, and I felt the same way. I was like, dude, man, I found the red pill when I was 32. If I had found it at 22, I'd be much better off. No. A 30-year-old man is equivalent to a 16-year-old girl. A 35-year-old man is equivalent to an 18-year-old girl. Men, we don't hit the proverbial wall until we're 55, 56 years old. Listen, Alvo, I got a consultation client out in San Diego. Dude is 54 years old, banging a 24 and a 26-year-old. And guess what? He's about to drop these two because he's about to start a multi-million-dollar business. He called me up. He said, Donovan, what's wrong with me? I
heard that earlier.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking a 24 and a 26-year-old, but I don't have time for them. They're ultra hot. They're submissive. They do whatever the hell I want. They bathe in my fluids. Is there something wrong with me? I said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Drop those fucking bitches. Go make that money. They'll be there. They'll be there when you're done. And oh, by the way, you'll be able to replace them with two that are even younger than they are. At 30 years old, man, you are in the prime position. Just make sure that you absorb this stuff, stay on the right track, and continue your red pill journey. And Rollo Tomasi's actually in the house. He appreciates the fact that you purchased his audiobook.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Yo, shout outs to Rollo, for real.
Good stuff. Alvo in New York, I appreciate your call, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, Alvo in New York sounds very, he's very passionate about it. Like, Alvo's to me, he sounds like a guy... Alvo to me sounds like a guy who knew something was up, but he couldn't quite verbalize it. He couldn't quite put his finger on it. As soon as he found the red pill community, he said, this is it. This is what I've been thinking. Guys who have a feeling that things are a little bit amiss, those are the guys that aren't really in the anger phase for too long. Because they've known something isn't quite right. They've known things are kind of fucked up. They're like, dude, there's got to be a better way. How do I, things are not quite what they should be. Then they find the red pill. They're like, ding, there it is. This is the answer. They're not upset because this is just how things are. Don't take it personally. This is just how things are. Just like he says, when a great white eats a baby seal, the great white shark is not bad or morally corrupt. He's just doing what great white sharks do. When women cheat on you, when they monkey branch, don't take it personally. I know it's hard not to, but guess what? This is just what women do. Last caller of the day, TSR Security. Big Brandon is in the house. Big Brandon, what's going on, brother?
Hey, my man.
What's going on? What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm calling for Dallas, of course.
Oh, wow. There you go.
All right, so I have a Mac brother. Oh, real quick side note, that guy Josh B.
Yeah.
In his 50s and doing MMA and a bouncer.
Yeah.
That man has my respect.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for what you did for him.
Absolutely, man. He's a good dude, man.
So I got a Mac brother who had been in class, going hard, grinding hard for 3 months.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, man, I'm happy you're here, right? I'm like, what's going on? I haven't seen you in class this much in a long time. He goes, oh, me and my girl broke up. And I'm like, really? He goes, well, let me be honest. She broke up with me. She said she's going through some stuff with her family and she's trying to sort some stuff out.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that sounds plausible. I gave the kind of turned my face to the camera like I don't see this shit, right? So just last month, I didn't see him in class that much. And last week he was in class. And I'm like, where you been? He goes, oh, well, my ex, we've been hanging out again.
Right.
She says she's straightening stuff out, and, she's got time for me. Now, I tried to red pill like him by saying, if I sold you a car, right? I'm like, brother, if I sold you a car, and every time you got in that car, it was car trouble, how fast would you buy a car from me again?
What did he say?
He's like, I wouldn't buy a car from you. I'm like, think about that when you go home and apply that in your life right now.
Okay.
I don't know how to come up with him and tell him the 3 months y'all broke up, she was trying to sort stuff out with another guy. He realized he didn't want her.
Oh,
that's
my
why
God.
she came back to you.
Jesus Christ. But see,
how
but
do I
this
go
just-
about telling him that?
Man, that's gonna be tough, man. Shit, dude, that's a wacky situation, man. If I were you, I wouldn't tell him straight up. What I would do, actually, I would do it like this, Brandon. I would tell him a story. I would make up a story about a quote unquote friend who is in the exact same situation as he is, and ask him what he would do. Hey, would you tell this guy straight up, or would you roundabout tell him, or would you keep it from him at all? If he says, well, you should tell him, then at that point, you see me, listen, man, this story was about you, and this is what's happening. Don't shoot the messenger, but this is how it's going.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I'm like, I apologize. I'm like you. I just don't want to see my brothers failing.
Dude, I know,
right?
man. I know. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something like this, Brandon. I'm not a parent, but I know a lot of men are parents, right? And I would say this: like, if you're the kind of guy who doesn't want to see your brothers fail, like if you have a friend or a relative who's in a bad situation with a woman, or you see that he's about to make a mistake, I know it's hard not to get involved with that, but sometimes you almost have to be like a red pill parent. There's nothing you can really teach that person until they actually fall, right? Like that's just how it is. You have to listen, you can give them advice here and there, but they're going to have to learn these lessons on their own. It's very, very difficult for parents to allow their children to learn lessons the hard way. But unless they do, their children they're not really going to learn those lessons. Listen, we have to fall. We have to get our noses bloodied. We have to skin our knees. Like we have to make mistakes in order to learn our lessons. It's the same thing with red pill awareness, guys. If you have a brother, friend, cousin, whatever, who could be in a potentially bad situation, you can try to let him know what's going on, but you're going to have to understand he's not really going to listen to you because he's not ready to. The only time he'll be ready to is after he falls on his face, and maybe something you said to him earlier, you know what? Donovan did say something like this might happen. Let me go and ask him how he knew this would happen, and then take it from there. Excellent calls today. Bramblebush with the $5 super chat says, would you ever consider doing a show with Anna Maria Jorgensen, aka Wingmam? She's a feminine red pill YouTuber who covers red pill and women behavior. No. I've only done collaborations with one woman on this show, and that was with Devin, and that was 2 Christmases ago, and I'll never do it again. It was a lot of fun, and I only did it twice. I was like, you know what, Dev, let's have some fun. It's Christmas. But no, I'm never going to do a collaboration with a woman. Hashtag sexist. Oh my God, Donovan, you're sexist. And your point is what? Yes, Donovan Sharpe is absolutely 100% sexist. I'm a sexist. Dude, when I was in Vegas, girls used to tell me, oh my God, you're so sexist. But they never really said it with like contempt. They're like, oh, you're so sexist. Like it was almost a turn on. What can I say? I've got that Vegas boyish charm. My thanks to my super chatters, Luis Orozco with the $50 super chat. Appreciate that. Thomas Munier with the €2 super chat. Ace and Spades, the $2 super chat. Steve Johnson, $10. Ace and Spades 2. Al with $2 super chat. Charles Reinhardt, $10 and $5. Steve Johnson with another $5 super chat. Merciless 6 with a $5 super chat. Gravelite with a $5 super chat. Bramblebush with a $5 super chat. And there's Algo from New York with the $5 super chat. Says, I've got a lot to share. I can personally prove what happens when you follow red pill ideology and when you don't. So Algo from New York with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Listen, Algo had some Algo had some fire in his voice. He's like, yo, masculine burden of performance. Like, dude, Algo is a guy who got it before he found it. I can tell. Algo knew something wasn't quite right with what's going on in the dating market. When he found the red pill, he said, bingo, that's it. I got my answer. And now he's 30 years old. He's red pill aware. Dude, Algo, it is all downhill from here, man. Or all uphill. It only gets better from here. My thanks to my callers. Let me pull up that list. Pardon me. Thank you to MT2, Brell from the 215, Kitchen in Raleigh, Matt in New York, Brian in New York, Kevin in New Jersey, Johnny B, formerly of Saudi Arabia, now in Oregon, Kevin in New Jersey, I think I said that already, Cali West from Miami, the guy at the Home Depot in H-Town, appreciate you calling, Tim in North Carolina, Ace, of course, Algo in New York, and Big Brandon. I appreciate you guys giving me a call today. You guys literally make the show. That is going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Many thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. You guys absolutely, positively make this show possible. Be sure to sign up for my newsletter, donovansharpe.com/newsletter. You will get my ebook, 16 Ways to Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.